Good afternoon. My name is Brent Bradshaw, and my presentation today will focus on an article written by Nicholas Carr that was published in the May 2003 Harvard Business Review. The article, titled "IT Doesn't Matter," stirred up an emotional hornet's nest when it first came out. People were lining up to give their strong opinions on the article's validity, or more frequently, the lack thereof. Today's presentation will assess the validity of this article by addressing the following areas. Number 1, we'll review the definition of information systems. Number 2, we'll explore Carr's argument that IT doesn't matter in the context of competitive advantage and provide an alternative argument to this. Number 3, we'll review 2 companies that will support my assessment as to whether or not IT matters. And finally, we'll ultimately conclude on why IT matters. The term information systems is often used interchangeably to refer to information technology, which really is the hardware and software aspects of technology. A broader and more appropriate interpretation not only includes hardware and software, but also processes, data, and people. Effective information systems utilize all 5 components in a synergistic way. Now let's determine whether or not IT provides a competitive advantage to companies by exploring 2 opposing views as to whether or not IT matters. From the positive side, we'll look at Michael Porter's article, "How Information Gives You a Competitive Advantage." From the negative side, we'll look at Nicholas Carr's article, "IT Doesn't Matter." Porter goes on to state that there is an information revolution sweeping through our economy and that no company is immune to this phenomena. Similar to other revolutions like the Industrial Revolution, when we transitioned from hand production to machine production, we're at a point in time of the information revolution where companies are realizing significant reductions in the cost of obtaining, processing, and transmitting information, thereby changing the way they do business. Managers must understand that IT is more than just computers. It's the information that businesses create and the linked technologies that process it. Porter goes on to talk about the rules, or the changing of the rules of competition because of IT. Number 1, changing industry structure. 2, creating a competitive advantage. And number 3, spawning new businesses. Let's take a look at each. For changing industry structure, Porter believes that the structure of any industry is dependent on the following 5 competitive forces: the power of buyers, power of suppliers, the threat of new competitors in the industry, threat of substitute products, and the rivalry between existing competition. The strength of each of the 5 forces can also change over time, which will improve or worsen the attractiveness of the industry. Porter also states that information technology can alter each of the 5 forces and in turn the attractiveness of the industry. Innovation in IT is changing the structure of many industries, creating the need and opportunity for change. A great example is Netflix, which started up as a subscription-based digital distribution company and evolved into a provider of on-demand internet streaming that provided its customers, i.e. the buyers, with a convenient, low-cost way of renting movies. This was a significant information technology that increased the power of the buyer and changed the video and DVD industry forever, essentially leading to the demise of the bricks-and-mortar video store. The second area is creating a competitive advantage. Porter goes on to say that information technology is capable of lowering a company's cost in any part of the value chain, thereby providing a company a competitive advantage over rivals. This is occurring every day as companies in all industries are automating previously manual processes to gain cost efficiencies. The second area is information technology makes it possible for companies to customize their products, thereby creating differentiation from its competitors. We are all seeing this today with the intense competition that's taking place in the tablet and smartphone arenas. Companies are constantly tweaking their products to offer different features than their competitors. Finally, we look at spawning new businesses. Information technology is allowing for innovation and advancements to take place in all industries, resulting in things being created that were once considered technologically impossible. Great example of this is Caterpillar's Tier 4 engine technology, which has resulted in engines that provide the same power and performance, but at significantly decreased emission levels. Number 2, advancements in information technology in all industries is creating demand for new products. As a new technology is created, supporting products and services are required, some of which may result in whole new businesses. Number 3, innovation is creating new businesses within old ones. As an example, companies that are collecting industry data as a byproduct for selling their actual products are now finding ways to monetize this data, selling it to other companies for use in their respective businesses. Another great example of this would be Machinery Trader, which collects information on the global equipment selling prices and sells it to its competitors and other companies in the market. Now let's take a look at Carr's argument. Carr does not dispute the importance of IT corporations, but instead suggests that information technology has now become an everyday resource for a corporation. Carr argues that a company can only have an advantage over its competitors if it has something or does something that its competitors do not have or cannot do. From an IT perspective, if access to technology is restricted, whether it be through physical limitations, legal, regulatory, or high costs, a company can still use it to gain advantages over its competition, but that needs to be in place. Carr talks about the core functions of IT. He suggests that data storage, data processing, and data transport have all become available and affordable to all, thereby transforming from what used to be strategic resources or a proprietary technology to what he is now referring to as a commodity factor or infrastructural technology of production. These commodity factors, as he refers to them, are simply a cost of doing business that must be paid by all, but provide no distinction to anyone. He actually likens the IT commodity resources to electricity and railroads, which were also originally considered proprietary technologies, thereby providing a competitive advantage to those forward-thinking companies of the day that were early out of the gate with these technologies, to eventually turning into infrastructural technologies as they became widespread and therefore ubiquitous in nature and a cost of doing business. Carr goes on to suggest that the basis for sustained competitive advantage to an organization is scarcity, and because information technology has become an everyday resource for a corporation, it can no longer be considered strategic in nature. Carr goes on to give us all 3 rules or future rules for IT management. Carr suggests that it's getting much harder for companies to achieve a competitive advantage through investments in information technology, and therefore companies should pull back the spending reins in this arena. He also suggests don't be the first company out of the gate to create or implement new information technology. The longer a company waits to make an IT purchase, the more bang you'll get for your buck, or benefit from the technology. Number 3, Carr reiterates that it'll be very unusual for a company to gain competitive advantage through the use of information technology. However, a disruption in the availability of current information technology within the company could be catastrophic. Companies need to prepare for breaches, glitches, and outages rather than creating new IT opportunities. At the end of the day, Carr suggests that a company's IT should be essentially boring. So after assessing both arguments and thinking of real-life examples that I'm involved in, now I have to select a winner. And the winner is Porter. Where did Carr miss the mark? In some respects, Carr is probably correct with his argument that software and hardware have become ubiquitous and costs of doing business, such as ERP systems, accounting systems, customer relationship management systems. However, this is somewhat narrow-minded on his part. Where he falls short is really in 2 key areas. He left out the concept of innovation, one of the key drivers for industrial advancement. Because of innovation, hardware and software will continue to evolve and new technologies will be introduced that will provide competitive advantages to forward-thinking companies. Carr's argument really only focused on hardware and software, the strict definition of information technology, and was missing 3 of the 5 components that make up information systems: people, processes, and data. Each of the missing criteria are by no means generic in nature and at risk of shifting from being proprietary in nature to infrastructural in nature. They're simply not things that an organization is ever going to be able to pull off the store shelf. They are proprietary in nature and take years to build. When all 5 information system components work together in synergy, great Great things happen, and forward-thinking companies who uncover technologies that lead to competitive advantages over rivals. This synergistic relationship was missed by Carr's argument, thereby, in my opinion, blowing a hole right through it. I'm now going to discuss two organizations that have been extremely successful and are considered market leaders in their respective industries for many reasons. In addition to the products and services that they offer, as well as the marketing, the branding, the innovation, and the customer service they deliver, each of these companies have been extremely successful in the area of information systems, where they continually executing all 5 components in synergy, ensuring that they maintain proprietary technologies, thereby creating significant competitive advantages for these companies over their rivals. Google is a global leader and household name in the area of search software and cloud computing, and was actually crowned the most visited website in the world in 2012. It has been estimated that the company runs more than 1 million servers in data centers located around the world that process over 1 billion search requests each day. The services that Google delivers would not be possible without the infrastructure, which makes it very hard for competitors to copy or even try to compete with Google. Even if competitors had the know-how, they would need billions of dollars to set up the infrastructure that Google currently has in place. Clearly, a sustainable competitive advantage. Google has an unbelievable breadth and depth of services that it offers to its customers. Google Apps, Google Maps, Google Chrome, Google Finance, just to name a few, that essentially offer customers a one-stop shop model for their internet and computing needs. A significant value also being that they can deliver to web users at very low costs. In addition to this, Google continues to hire the best of the best in the information systems industry and annually invests significant funding into continued innovation to ensure that it maintains its competitive advantage in this area. There's no question that Google's information systems are proprietary in nature and have and will continue to provide Google with a sustained competitive advantage over its rivals. Amazon.com is the world's largest online retailer. Started as an online bookstore and soon diversified into many other businesses, including music, video, electronics, apparel, furniture, jewelry, just to name a few, and of course the Kindle and apps downloads associated with that customer electronic line. Amazon constantly introduces new technology advancements to their website that are customer experience focused. One example would be the personalization that Amazon builds into each customer's web experience, i.e. recommending new products to customers based on past history, based on their searches and purchases. Also, the use of the one-click for its payment checkout process. Make it quick and easy for the customer. Overall goal is to make the website easy to navigate and provide a great customer experience. Low prices. Amazon is focused on a model where it produces low-cost hardware, i.e. the Kindles, which are primarily used to support the sale of apps that Amazon sells. Hardware prices are low and greater markup is made on the software side. New products being launched all the time. This model makes it very difficult for rivals to compete. Like Google, there is no question that Amazon's information systems are proprietary in nature and have and will continue to provide Amazon with a sustained competitive advantage over its rivals. There are countless other examples of companies out there that use IT to maintain a sustained competitive advantage over their rivals. So, back to the question at hand, does IT matter? Absolutely. In the end, successful organizations utilize all 5 elements of information systems in a synergistic way, that is, using hardware, software, processes, data, and people in concert, and consider information systems a strategic piece of their organization's strategy. When companies can effectively combine information systems with the other strategic pieces, technological innovation occurs and forward-thinking companies achieve sustained competitive advantages over their rivals. Thank you.